started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
Hello and welcome to City Girls Make Do. I'm Alex and I'm the horny Smurf.
Oh, and I'm Stephanie and I'm the manlet president of Pisstown.
Yeah, those are the three topics that we need to get into. Manlets, politicians, and piss.
Piss, baby. Can you have politicians without piss? Politicians.
Do you remember, throwback to when my dear mother was on the show and she said, talking about adult babies, oh, you know, that fetish that all the politicians have?
Oh my god, I don't remember her saying that, but that's really good.
That specific line stuck in my head because all politicians are little perverts, and she was right.
True. I mean, this was just foreshadowing Donald Trump piss tape 2K18. So
it's like everyone always talks about The Simpsons as foreshadowing, and I feel like this is the real foreshadower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A classic.
Mm-hmm. We are talking about episode 2 of season 3, and it's called Politically Erect.
It's a title. They sure went for this one. They sure loved to talk about being politically correct or incorrect this episode, and so much of it made, like, no sense.
I mean, it wasn't quite as awful as, like, we can't be racist anymore. That sucks.
True.
It was more like, what's the right thing to call someone, which I don't mind.
Yeah, true. It was like, is it appropriate? Like, what? If we'll get into it.
We will get there. I mean, there is like one offensive conversation, but that, I mean, it could be worse.
There is definitely worse things they could have thrown around for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's like that one John Mulaney bit that's like, well, you know, if there's one word that you won't say, that's the worst word.
Yeah. If there's any word that can just be said with the first letter of it, then don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it. But should we get into this C word of a show?
We should.
So we start with Carrie, who has been dating Bill, our lovely politician, from the last episode for 3 weeks.
It's kind of nice to see him still because he's pretty. But and it gives Carrie an opportunity to wear so many nice outfits because she's campaigning with him, so she looks like very nice.
Can I be a nerd for a second?
Yes.
Okay, so she says that she's been wearing vintage Halston and going for a Jackie Kennedy thing. Mm-hmm. So she's doing a very 70s look, and it's more akin to 70s Jackie when she was Jackie O, not Jackie Kennedy. And it just bothered me because she's wearing like flares and like these like neutral colors and has her hair straightened. So she looks very Jackie Onassis, but not Jackie Kennedy. If she was wearing a pink Chanel suit, I'd be like, oh yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. And Halston is a very 70s designer. Like, you know, those super duper like low cut, like glittery disco dresses.
Yeah, she did look very 70s this kind of whole episode, like with her color tones and like just the style of the clothes. It was interesting choices. I did like the fashion choices, but yeah, it's definitely not the era she's talking about.
No, but I did love it. And we get her a trademark Carrie giant flower brooch.
She certainly does, yeah. And it's like covering up. She has like a pin for the campaign, and she keeps having like these big like brooches that cover the pin.
I mean, just don't wear. I mean, I guess she has to wear it, but like, if you hate it so much, do something. You can't just cover it up and be like, I'm wearing it.
Yeah, there's no point.
No, so yeah, she's following around Bill as he does his little like fundraising and speeches and shit. He's at a school at one point.
Yeah, he asks like a kindergarten class if they know what a controller is. And
we don't.
A bunch of kids put their hand up and they're like, me, and he's like, whoa, really? And I'm like, what? I don't know what a controller is.
Maybe
like,
they thought he said controller.
Maybe.
I don't know what that is, and I still haven't Googled it because I don't care. I do think it is weird Carrie is there with him because they've only been dating for 3 weeks. Like,
I mean, she has nothing better to do.
yeah, but you still don't want to be like, oh, this is my girlfriend. I'm dating her for a couple of weeks, because then if you break up and you then have like another girlfriend, you're gonna look like you're a man about town. It's like when people have kids and then they like introduce their girlfriends to the kids or their partners or whoever to the kids like really early on.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does seem kind of weird.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in the public eye, you want to wait a little while until you know you're sort of going to be together for at least a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I wonder if it's just kind of hard to hide it if he's already like going out for dinner with her and stuff. So it's kind of like he's already being photographed. And I don't know. I don't really know how big his election is because I don't know how important his position is.
I don't know either, but like I'm still trying to think. I don't know. Even I don't open up. I'm thinking of like even the London mayor, right? Like I don't fucking know who he's probably married. I don't know what his wife looks like.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not in the tabloids. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't even be able to point out Justin Trudeau's wife in public if I saw her. Like, I know he's got one, but I don't know what she looks like. I don't even know what her name is. So
I don't know what Theresa May's husband looks like. I'm sure he's an old white guy, but what do you want me to do with that information?
no one cares.
Exactly. But then they have a successful what is it, you giving a speech or something, and
yeah,
then they have sex afterwards because it's a real aphrodisiac.
Oh, it sure is. And she also like compares fashion and politics in a weird way. She's like, oh, we go really well together because like I'm fashion and he's politics, and they're both just about recycling old ideas and making them seem fresh.
This is what I think goes on in Melania Trump's head.
Probably.
She's like gonna wear. Do you remember that fucking? There's like the Parker, and it had like I don't care what you think on the back of it or something.
Yeah.
She's just like, it's fashion. That's my job as a first lady. I'm just gonna look nice. Like, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so then we go to Steve and Miranda, who are walking along the street at night. And I mean, I kind of feel like I just kind of zone out when Steve is talking, because I don't know, this is like my least favorite Miranda era. Whenever she's with Steve, I just
I mean, it's boring. Like it's like you can pretty much sum up the whole scene in like one line anyway. Yeah. Even though it's like a 3-minute scene, probably.
Yeah, so to sum up the scene, he just asks her if they can be exclusive, and she's gonna think about it because she's a little bit nervous.
Yeah, she's apprehensive, so I don't know if she wants to go steady.
Like they're in bloody Pleasantville. It's weird. Yeah, for two like 30-year-old people to be like, oh, we're going steady.
It's yeah, in the year 2000, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, and lunch, and Carrie looks interesting. She's wearing like a pale blue pantsuit and then like a striped bow blouse. Yes.
Yeah, it's I feel like this is not very much of a Carrie look. I mean, I kind of like it because it's kind of tacky.
It's very tacky.
But, like, it doesn't seem like a Carrie outfit because Carrie's style isn't really tacky. I don't know.
If it's tacky, then it's, like, fun. I feel like this is just, like, very...
It's, like, serious tacky.
Yeah. Like, not like, oh, I'm just going to be silly and wear something which is, like, obnoxious. It's like, oh, I thought I was looking nice while I was wearing this obnoxious outfit.
Yeah, she looks like something, so
I guess it's kind of from like a a stylist point of view. I guess this probably would be Carrie's idea of looking grown up, or at least at this point.
guess. Yeah, I mean, Carrie has no idea what that means, so
No.
probably.
So that, oh my god, that conversation on politics is just the one I want to have on HKIP. Like, who's the hottest president? Let's settle this.
God, I was like, oh my god, how come this isn't what goes down on HKIP every single week?
Because they restrain me, they hold me back. I always want to just to be like, who's hot or not?
You need to just get the right lineup of people who are gonna like talk with you for 20 minutes straight and just be like, which president was the most fuckable? And like everyone else who doesn't want to be on that episode can just leave and they don't have to listen. They don't have to record it, but like,
You don't have to. All right, everyone, donate to our Patreon. This is the HKIP Patreon now. And then maybe this will come out as a bonus episode. I don't know. I'll convince them. I'll convince the gang.
I'll record that about who the most fuckable presidents are, and I'm unbiased because I'm not American, so I can
Same.
say, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we need another guest. So come on.
It's a fun conversation.
It certainly is. So Samantha is the one who broaches it and says that she just votes for whoever is the most attractive because look at Nixon. He was ugly and he fucked everyone.
Yep. I mean, she is right about that because no one wanted to fuck him. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't fuck Nixon. Definitely one of the least fuckable presidents to me.
The incel of the Oval Office, Richard Nixon, Charlotte is like, I had a college crush on Dan Quayle,
Yes.
who was Papa Bush's vice president, and everyone ignores it the first time, and then the second time she says it, they're like, "Yeah, we just didn't want to talk to you about that."
It's really good. Oh, fuck. I loved that. I love that they wrote that in. They're just like, everyone just ignores Charlotte and pretends they didn't hear her.
To her fucking inane, like, oh, and I mean, of course, this proves that she's a Republican.
Oh, I know. It's true. And then when she brings up Kennedy, she's like, she kind of is just like, she says that Kennedy was like the cutest president or something like that. I can't remember what she says, but she kind of makes it sound like politics aside, I'm only talking about being attractive. Kennedy was fairly cute. And so I'm just like, so you're ultra confirming that you're a Republican.
She's the type of person to be like, I mean, it's a shame he was a Catholic, but
True.
who gives a shit as I was a Catholic? What are you talking about? Is she not the type of person who would be obsessed with Jackie?
You'd think so. But I mean, also being a Republican, I don't know.
True. Maybe she's more of a Princess Diana girl. You know, like those type of people who are like, oh yes, I love the royal family. And you're like, who gives a shit?
Oh, that is 100% Charlotte. Yeah.
Charlotte, like, cried when Princess Diana died.
Oh, so hard. So hard.
So hard, yeah. And she's like, I don't like that Meghan Markle girl, but won't explain why.
Yeah, I can see this. Charlotte, stop being so problematic in our imaginations.
I know. I do love this. And I mean, I do kind of agree with Samantha because, I mean, not to trash ugly people in general, because there are plenty of people who are ugly and nice, and there's nothing wrong with being ugly. But like, if you are trying to be president of the United States, you're probably a piece of shit. And if you're ugly on top of that, then you have some, like, I feel like a chip on your shoulder. So I feel like she's onto something, because I feel like Nixon definitely had like a vendetta.
I mean, look at Ronald Reagan. He looks like a piece of like dead skin that fell off someone's ass. So, like, and now he is a piece of dead skin. So
I don't know. Wait, is he even skin anymore? He might be a skeleton by this point.
Probably. I hope all his skin at this point. I hope all the maggots ate his skin.
Yeah, I don't know. This is me being I'm not a very anti-ugly, but this being highly problematic right now. But like, she's got a point. Maybe Carrie is more left because she says FDR was a good president.
She does say that, and she says, and he had a hat, so having a hat makes you better at being a president. I think that was her argument. I'm not sure. Or was it a mustache? I can't remember.
I think he said hat, but he also had polio. So, I mean, you could make a case for having polio makes you a better president. But I mean, Carrie is she's a fashion-forward young woman, and I support that.
I support that too. Just, that's their politics conversation. Did they say anything else important about it?
I don't think so. I mean, Carrie still isn't registered to vote.
Yeah, she's still not registered. And because the whole thing is they're like, I can't believe he's dating you when you're not even registered to vote in this state. And Carrie's like, oh, well, that they target the people who are, unlisted. Or whatever it was. Like, we're his target demographic, people who haven't even registered.
Oh, the undecided voters, yeah. I don't know how she is still not registered to vote. Maybe she's an anarchist.
I don't think I can give her that much credit.
Maybe she's like, I wouldn't vote for anyone because no president is ever going to be left enough for me. Carrie, go on HKIP.
We don't need to spread that information around.
No.
Okay.
So then Miranda and Carrie like slip off together, and I'm just going to be succinct. So Miranda tells Carrie that she's like nervous about going exclusive with Steve in case someone better comes along, and then Carrie's like, just make a list, and that's it. And I really thought this list was going to like come back to bite her, and is there one where she like makes a list and then he finds it?
That's an episode of Friends.
These are they're the same show.
I mean, kind of. There's an episode where Ross makes a list of pros and cons about Rachel and Julie, I think. And then Rachel finds the list and is like, gets really upset about it.
Isn't there also a list in the episode where they're in the beach house and it's full of sand? There's also like Rachel writes a list or something about...
Oh, Rachel writes like a manifesto about why she's right and Ross is wrong. And then Ross falls asleep reading it because it's like 17 pages.
Rachel is the Unabomber.
I love Rachel.
Me
She's
too.
like the best part of that show. Like Friends is like exceptionally mediocre, but Rachel's really good.
She is the saving grace. It's like, what Sex and City girl are you? And then what Friends character are you?
I feel like I wish I was a Rachel, but I'm really a Monica. But a little bit of Phoebe. I don't know.
That's the thing. I feel like I'm all three of the ladies in a way.
Yeah.
It just depends on what mood I am in. I'm a Phoebe in that I'm like a kind of a hippie, and then I'm a Monica because I'm also extremely anal, and then I'm a Rachel because I like mini skirts. I don't know.
The thing is, we have multitudes.
Women be three-dimensional characters.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then that's it. Then we get our question.
It's okay. So her question is pretty short. It's really just like, are sex and politics inextricably linked? So her question is, can there be sex without politics? I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like, if you hook up with someone for just the night, then, I mean, I guess the way that she talks about politics, though, it's kind of like just approaching any social dynamic and like how you portray yourself to other people too. I feel like she doesn't necessarily just mean like, oh, do you vote Democrat or Republican? She means like a lot of more, I don't know if she means more nuanced things, but it kind of comes across somewhat like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think she's kind of talking about like the whole sexual politics of stuff, and like, if we're talking about Samantha's storyline, then how typically like masculine and feminine features play into stuff. But this is kind of giving them too much credit.
It kind of is. I feel like they kind of try to make things sound like they're political, but without actually approaching any kind of politics about them. Yeah. And like, I think with Miranda's thing, like Miranda was saying that her list felt judgmental and she couldn't just tell Steve the truth because Carrie was like, well, that would be, I don't think she calls it politically incorrect to tell Steve the truth, but she kind of makes it sound like that's a choice that, would be not really right to make. And she kind of tries to make it sound like that's a political thing. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Carrie's stupid.
Carrie is stupid, and Miranda's storyline has like nothing to do with politics.
No, not at all.
This could be in literally any other episode.
I think what Carrie meant to say was Miranda needs to be diplomatic.
Yes.
Like, you need to approach it tactfully and not be rude about it, but still talk to him about it, maybe. I don't know. But she tries to make it sound like a political thing. But
She tries to be grown up, I guess, for Carrie.
she did put on her big girl pants.
She did. I'm very proud of her. So then we have, speaking of Samantha and her storyline, she's at a bar and she's being hit on by a very cocky man.
Yeah, I don't like this guy. Like, I straight up just wrote he's cocky and annoying.
Yeah, he is. Like, he's full on. And he's just, he was a pink lady or something, which is the worst apple.
Yeah, no, I really didn't like the way he was talking to her. She's kind of just like, I don't know. She seems intrigued by it, though. She seems to kind of like the guys who come in just right off and are just like hitting on her right away.
Yeah, I think because like Miranda has such an energy to her that she kind of needs someone who can keep up with that, and it's not for me. And he reminds me of like a greaser.
I don't even know what he reminds me of, because like he's not even cool enough to be a greaser. Like, I don't know. He just reminds me of like a guy I don't want to talk to. Not like a specific one, but just like, it's exhausting. I don't like him at all.
Yeah, and she's all flirting back with him, and they exchange numbers. He asked her if she likes skiing at some point, like for no fucking reason. I thought he was going to invite her skiing.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, how long you been skiing for?" Like, what? What does this have to do with anything?
And then they swap numbers, and he's like, "Let's go for dinner on Friday," and she's like, "Okay," and then because they're on bar stools, and then he stands up and he's short.
Yeah, because when he stands up, he's about the same height as he was sitting down on the bar stool.
It's always a struggle. I hate bar stools. I'm not even short, but I hate bar stools.
I hate bar stools. I'm short. So this is actually, okay, one of my favorite things ever is the first time I ever met my friend Lyris, she met me at this like burrito place, and I was sitting down, and I stood up to leave, and she was like, "You're the same height." Oh. It was so good. And I was just like, oh my God, that's very good. Yeah. Because I'm just under 5 feet tall. So I'm a womanlet. I don't know.
That's okay, here's the thing. I feel like we have a good height conversation here, because I'm about 5'6". I would say I'm 5'6.5". And I just checked, and Kim Cattrall's the same height, so...
Interesting, because they make her look very tall in this episode. And I know it's supposed to be to make her look much taller than this guy, but in this episode, they make her look like she's like 5'10".
Yeah. But she's not. Like slightly taller than average in most places.
Yeah, plus with heels and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah. So like a manlet to me is different than a manlet to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, every person I meet is pretty much taller than me. Like, very few people are shorter than me. And although, like, it has kind of turned out that most of the people that I've, like, been with have been, like, a solid foot taller than me. But, like, it's not hard when you're 5 feet tall. But, like, my boyfriend now is, like, 5'7" or so. So, like, short to some people, but, like, 6 or, like, a solid 7 inches taller than me. So...
Yeah. I mean, to me, that would be a guy who's like 6'1", or anyone who's 6'1",
Yeah.
A nice, and then that's tall. Like, I don't know. I don't know. This whole conversation is so weird, this episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It is very bizarre. Like, they give each other their business cards to have each other's numbers, because before he stands up, he asks her out on Friday for dinner, and she says yes. Then he stands up and she sees how tall he is, and her face just, like, falls. She's just, like, devastated. She's like, what am I going to do about this?
This man knows he's short, so he definitely only stood up at the end on purpose.
Yeah.
This is a man who knows because you can't not know. But like,
yeah,
I'm sure this has happened. I think his sort of like his confidence probably does come from the fact that you know, if you're shorter than what is deemed appropriate, because also it's bullshit that heights are like such a big deal because you can't do anything about it. You can't get taller.
Yeah, it's very much like one of the things that definitely men get judged on a lot, where it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. And then some people are like, I would literally never date someone who's shorter than like this height. And sometimes it's like quite a reasonable height that they're like suggesting.
Do you have an issue with like people, it's almost always fucking straight women, so I'm just gonna say women who are like 5 foot tall and they're like, I wouldn't date a man who's below 6 foot, and I'm like, fuck you, fucking leave some for the rest of us, you goddamn like, if you're if you're 5 foot tall, you can reasonably date a man who is 5'4", right?
And they're still taller than you.
Yeah, if I date a guy who is 5'4", then like I'm always going to be taller than him, especially if I do want to wear heels or like a platform or something. And you know, I guess we are kind of programmed to be like, men are taller than women. Ugh. And I'm not the type of person who would rule out dating someone shorter than me, but it would definitely be something that they would have to be cool with, I would have to be cool with, and then you know people are going to like look at you. You know, and guys as well. Guys will be fucking 6 foot tall and they'll be like, I prefer petite girls.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's like, what? I don't know, being picky in general about height when there's like so many other qualities a person can have that are like more important is, but especially when it's like you're already so much taller or shorter than everyone anyway, it's like, chill. Like,
it's so stupid. Like, I mean, first of all, I think for me at least, I wouldn't rule out any physical quality. Like, I might say, I would prefer if someone was taller than me. But I really do feel like it's shallow to just rule someone out based on something. Like, if you're not attracted to them at all, then there's not much you can do about that. But to just be like, you're 5'8", I'm not dating you, even though you're gorgeous and you're fucking have a good job and we have so many things in common. Like, it's just so shallow to me.
Yeah, very much. And it's like, you can have preferences and stuff, but but like ruling something out entirely just because you're like, I'm grossed out by someone being like a guy being like 5'5", it's like, okay, grow up.
It's so immature and it's so shallow. And I will also say that my parents have a huge height difference, and I personally think it's like ridiculous because they're old now, so they can't kiss without it being like they have to be sitting down.
Oh my God. Yeah. I do know what it's like to be like a lot shorter than like a person that you're dating. And like, I don't know, it's fine, I guess, but it's just more uncomfortable than it is to like date someone where they're, you know, relatively close to your head height wise. It's just much more comfortable. So,
and if you're around the same height, then you kiss more. So
it's good.
It's a winner. Yeah. Then we go to the fundraiser and Samantha seems disturbed. She's wearing basically a tracksuit.
Yeah, it's
like a tracksuit with like an updo and earrings, but then she has like a cream knitted tracksuit. It's really fucking weird. It's like it's like when you're doing your hair and makeup and then you put your dress on to go out, but she didn't put the dress on.
Pretty much. The outfits at this party seemed interesting to me because some people looked very, you know, business, like they looked very professional. And then some people were like Steve, who like threw on a long sleeve shirt and pants and called it a day.
I was like, oh, this is a cocktail party. And then some people were in just fucking, like, they just came from work.
Yeah, like, okay.
Samantha's in her pajamas.
Pretty much. I mean, we know Samantha. She doesn't really care about politics, so
No, but in every other scene, she's wearing like a sexy red dress. You think this would be a time for that?
She looked amazing in pretty much every other scene she was in. But.
Yes. But she's like freaked out about how he's short, and you know, obviously, I think both of us just had the same reactions we were just talking about. Of like, it's really fucking shallow, and who gives a shit?
Yeah, this is definitely like the most problematic scene of the episode. The conversation they have as the group.
Yeah, they're throwing around. I mean, Carrie is the one who is like, I think it is polite to call them little people.
And he's not even in that height range, though.
No. For reference, for anyone who hasn't seen the episode, he is probably the same height as her if she's not wearing heels. So he would be about 5'6".
Probably, yeah.
Is, for me, in manlet territory... Let's stop saying manlet. Let's say short kings.
Short kings, yeah. Short kings rise up.
He is in the short kings territory. And then that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Their conversation, like, Charlotte says, like, anything under 5 feet is unacceptable.
Which is so mean.
Yeah.
And, like, under 5 feet, I feel like we are talking about people with, like, actual dwarfism.
Yeah.
Which, again, kind of rude to rule someone out because they have, like, a disability or just genetics. I mean, height is just genetics. Like, it's like saying I would never date someone with brown hair. That's fucking disgusting.
True. Yeah, it makes no sense. And yeah, it's something.
It is, yeah. Well, Charlotte's all excited because she's trying to find herself a nice man at this party because they'll be rich.
Yes, and she's still determined to get married this year.
Yes, she is. So she goes off to mingle. Then we see Miranda and Steve are there, and Miranda's hair looks gorgeous.
Yes, she looks so much better than Steve.
She looks so good. She's in like this, just like a black blazer with like nothing underneath. I think it's probably a suit. She has her hair all swept up. She looks gorgeous. And then Steve is in a fucking long sleeve t-shirt.
Yep, Steve just like next to her is like, who? Excuse me? Who let you in?
See, this is the thing. We talk trash and we're saying, oh, short kings, ugly people, whatever. Those are things you can't change. What you can change is you can look fucking nice when your girlfriend, you know, goes to a long effort to look nice.
And she's taking you to a nice fundraiser. Like, if you're gonna show up, you know the dress code. You should probably, you know, try to look nice next to your girlfriend.
I would say, you know, wear a fucking, like, a blazer and then don't even have to wear a tie. You can just wear a shirt underneath. It's... a fucking long sleeve t-shirt. My goodness. Anyway.
I mean, I guess this was a whole ordeal the first time they broke up, that he didn't have nice clothes, but... Still.
Yeah. He must still have that suit. Or did he return it?
I think he returned it.
Oh, he's a fucking pussy boy. I hate him.
And then he makes this really dumb joke to Bill because he's like, "Oh, if you get elected, can I bring you my parking tickets?"
Yeah,
I got $500 of parking tickets. And then Miranda is just like, she hates his dumb joke. She's just like, this is why I can't stand him sometimes, and I don't want to settle for him because his jokes are dumb.
Imagine, like, I don't know. I really can't imagine dating someone and being like, I fucking hate when they make jokes. That just feels like.
Right.
That is a deal breaker for me. If you're not funny, that's a deal breaker. Because, I mean, I'm always going to be the funny one in the relationship. Let's get that straight. But if I think your jokes are fucking stupid and, like, embarrassing, then how am I going to take you anywhere? It's so bad. It's so fucking cringy. The thing about Steve is, like, he sticks out like a sore thumb. He really just feels like the type of... He should be dating like a 20-year-old student, and everyone's like, who's the fucking old guy? And you're like, oh, that's Zoe's boyfriend. You know, what does he do? Oh, he's a bartender. And you're like, really? Like, he is that guy.
Oh, you're right, and I hate it.
He is that guy. I know him. I've seen him at parties. You're like, oh yeah, that's my friend's boyfriend. Like, isn't he like 30? Yeah. She's going through a phase.
And like even when you're 20, you realize that you're settling for him, and like, yeah.
Yeah, and then we see Charlotte, and oh my god, we get a little celebrity cameo. All right, so when she's flirting with this guy, and then he's like, oh, they're talking about like Liechtenstein, and then he's like, oh, honey, this is Charlotte, and he introduces his fiance, and it's Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I did see her. Yeah.
It was like, is that Elizabeth Banks? And then she started talking, and it was her, and Charlotte is kind of disappointed, obviously.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, this guy was such a catch. Oh, no. She was so sad.
I mean, Charlotte just sees like any white guy who has a decent suit, and she's like, oh, a catch.
Yeah. Oh my god, I gotta settle for this guy.
Yeah, she will settle for fucking anyone who probably has money, which good for her, I suppose.
Yeah. I also loved a Samantha line that we got that was like a super throwaway, like that was just in between scenes, where she's like talking to some women at the party, and she's like, I don't believe in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I just believe in parties.
Confirmed libertarian.
It's such a fucking Samantha line.
And then we get Stanford.
Yes, I loved to see Stanford in this episode. He was really fun.
Oh, I love to see him. I missed him. I also forgot to mention that, like, when we were doing the Larry, your waiter, whenever he was on it, he did a show with the actor who plays Stanford, which ran for like probably one season, and I forgot to mention it, and I'd never seen it, but I think it's about like, oh, we're actors, we're struggling actors, and I'm like, love those shows.
So it's a TV show.
I'm sure it was great. I'm never gonna watch it. But Stanford's there. It's totally relatable. And Stanford is there, and he's talking to Carrie. He's like, I've got to go see the vagina monologues.
I really loved this.
Yes. And Carrie goes, why? And he says, just because I don't eat at the restaurant doesn't mean I can't see what the specials are.
It's really good.
I want to go see the vagina monologues with Stanford. He's so fun.
Me too. I would love to see it with him.
He's just, every time he's on, I'm like, oh, I bet he's living like a much more interesting TV show.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, there should be a Stanford in the City spinoff. It would be way better than Sex in the City. Actually, it'd probably just end up being like Will and Grace or something, because it's like the late 90s, so...
Yeah, it would be kind of like, today, but I did love Will and Grace. I used to watch it. For some reason, it was on like in the early mornings, so I would watch it before school, which might explain why I'm so obsessed with Cher. But he asked Carrie to set him up with one of the guys who is Bill's campaign manager, and Carrie's like, how do you know? And he says that he's seen him roller skating.
Yeah, which I guess is a way to know that he's gay. I don't know.
It's a lot more interesting than just, I got the feeling, which I guess, isn't that how you like kind of, I mean, gaydar is for gays only, let's get that straight. But like, you kind of do, you get the feeling that, are they? I
mean, you kind of have to. That's how you survive, because like you need to have a good intuition about who is or isn't gay, like...
Yeah, he kind of, so then Carrie goes over to him, and she's like, oh, the guy over there thinks you're cute or whatever, and there's also, I mean, this is terrible, but there's like a fucking huge blonde guy standing next to Stanford.
Yeah, this is hard to watch.
Yeah, so the campaign manager says, oh, the blonde guy, and Carrie's like, no, the bald guy, and he just says, oh, the blonde guy's more my type, and then Carrie's like, oh, I have to be, what did she say? Did she say she has to be politically correct again?
Yeah, pretty much. She says something like that. Like, I had to be political about it or something.
I don't think the writers know what politically correct means. I think they just heard someone say it, and they were like, oh, it sounds like politically erect, and then wrote the episode.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what they did.
But she just says he's not gay.
And Stanford's like, really? Like, I could have sworn he was.
Yeah, Stanford was right, but Carrie lies. I mean, I don't even this was a little bit, I think it sucked more from like a writing point of view, because they love pointing out how Stanford is like not conventionally attractive, but not really ever doing too much about it, which I don't love, because he is just a side character. It's like they don't really explore that. And this show, like, again, if Stanford had a spin-off, then they could explore this and that would be interesting. But they kind of just like, Stanford's not hot. And it's like, well, he's adorable. He's super cute. He's very fashionable and he's very funny. So I think he's attractive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't really do much to really make Stanford,
three-dimensional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, just not being someone's type isn't the end of the world. A lot of us aren't someone's type. So, it wasn't like Carrie had to make some huge decision. It was just a weird little subplot. And then we get Charlotte and she's drunk, which is always the favorite part of any episode.
I do love drunk Charlotte, and you can just tell like her hair is like a little bit messy now. Like she's had some drinks, so.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Banks is saying that like, oh, she met her fiance at a party where everyone brings like a man they don't want anymore.
Charlotte's so hot. She loves this.
Yeah. She loves this idea. I don't think I know any men who I'm like, hey, do you want to come to a party where we're bringing our fucking leftovers?
Yeah, I've never ever heard of that before, but Charlotte even says like, oh, that's so sweet. One woman's trash is another woman's treasure.
All men are trash.
That's true.
Recycling. And then reuse, reduce, recycle. So then we get, in bed with Bill. I mean, this is a dream come true, except for what he says.
You just gotta know that if you ever meet John Slattery in real life, it is too good to be true. Like, you think it's not too good to be true, but it is. Just wait 3 weeks.
I'm putting this out into the universe. I would love to sleep with John Slattery, and then as you're having a little pillow talk, just go, so do you want me to pee on you?
I don't even think I could joke about it.
Just see if he fucking kicks you out. Like, that is I would do that all for the lols, as we used to say.
For the lols, true.
For the lols. So yeah, they're in bed and they're just having their little pillow talk, and he's like, first of all, this is bait. He says, is there anything you want me to do? I just want to make sure you're happy and you're comfortable and you're having a good time. She's like, no, I'm fine. And she's like, so what about you? And he's like, well...
He's like, oh, no. Well, maybe one thing.
The way he sets this up is it sounds fine. He's like, well, I always wanted to, go in the shower, and then we get ourselves all nice and clean, and then you pee on me. Why would you shower first?
I guess that's his thing. He was like, get me all nice and clean and then fucking piss all over me and get me dirty again. I don't know. And is she gonna pee on him in the shower or like somewhere else? I don't know. And then Carrie's face is just horrified, and we like zoom out from her face, and her eyes are just like wide open. Like,
why? This is like, how did the rest of the fucking night? Because she says like, oh yeah, I said I'd just been, but maybe another time. How do you not react to that with a
excuse me? Like, that would be me.
like, I would laugh and think he was joking because of the way he set it up as well. Like, oh yeah, you know, we get all nice and clean and then you pee on me. I'd be like, what a funny joke.
I love it when you make funny jokes. It's really funny.
You're really funny, Bill. Yeah. So then we go straight to girl talk.
Yep, because we gotta hear all the. She's gotta tell everyone all about it. It's good.
This is why group chats exist.
Yeah.
Samantha says that politicians want to be humiliated. She's right.
Yeah. She's true. Miranda's like, what if it's just foreplay to like something bigger?
Yeah.
Which it probably is.
Apart the kimono, I could do pee if I was the one doing the peeing.
But not getting pissed on.
No. I feel like pee, like, I don't want to do it, but I don't feel like pee is that bad.
It's definitely better than shitting on someone.
Yeah, that is a line, and that is about 5 miles beyond it.
I don't think I could do either. Like, I mean, peeing on someone is definitely a lot better than being peed on. And it's not like he's like drinking it or anything. It's just going on him. But like,
he's just got like a little champagne float.
I kill myself. I just couldn't.
I say I could. This means like if I had a gun to my head or I was being paid. Because that's the thing. I don't think anything that wouldn't bring me any joy, I don't really see the point in indulging in. Particularly if we're not both having fun with it, then it's just going to be a chore, and sex shouldn't be that.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's grosser things you can do. I mean,
yeah, there are grosser things to do. I really don't care too much if someone has a piss. If someone has any sort of fetish which is consensual, I don't really give too much of a shit.
I don't give a shit, but I also just don't want to know about it. Like, I feel like the only people who should know about your fetishes are the people that you're sleeping with or interested in sleeping with, or if someone like asks you. But if if I didn't ask, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know any of the fetishes of my friends or just random people. Like,
sometimes you can't look at them the same.
I just don't want to know about kinks. Horny is banned.
True.
Like, if you're horny, you're banned.
Yeah, I mean, for the horniest show on Noise Space, we are anti-horny.
Yeah, I've never been horny in my life. Like, basically, I'm baby. Like,
I'm baby. I'm just saying. I don't think I would immediately be like, what? I would just say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Pee on yourself.
You know what you can do instead? You can cuddle.
That's my fetish. Love. Intimacy.
My fetish is being loved and respected. My fetish is being hold.
True. My fetish is cuddle me. My fetish is can you get me a drink, please? I'm thirsty. Look after me.
Yeah, I'm so kinky because I love to be just booped on the nose and smooched on the forehead and then just cuddled. And that's my kink. So,
you know, I'm feeling really horny, babe. Will you order in a pizza? And then we can share it together.
Sorry that everyone knows about it now.
My fetish is cooking for my loved one and then enjoying a meal.
Oh, I love that. I'm horny for going out and playing Pokemon Go for like a few hours in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm totally horny for just pleasant domestic life. I'm not even joking. I really just want someone like we can just watch TV and then cuddle up, fucking eat dinner and then go to bed and not, I mean, have sex, don't have sex, whatever. Intimacy.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But everyone is kind of obviously a bit taken aback by Bill's fetish. And apparently Samantha once peed on a guy accidentally.
I don't know how you accidentally do that. I mean, yeah, no, I don't know how you could do that.
Maybe she really needed to pee before they had sex, or they were just going for a while.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I can see like farting during sex or something, but yeah, I don't know.
I think the pressure on your bladder could, depending on what position, it does happen. I've heard it. I haven't pissed on someone, but I have heard of it happening. And the thing is, now guys will think you squirt.
Is that even like a thing that anyone actually does?
I think so. I just think it's very rare.
Well, if you squirt, send us a message and let us know. Don't tell us your kinks, but tell us if you squirt. But if you squirt, you tell us, do it on anonymous or else.
Yes. You can tell us your Actually, all right, here's a challenge. City Girls Make Challenge. If you need to tell us your fetish, do it on anonymous.
Just be warned, I will kink shame you if we read it on our podcast next week. So just because there's no name.
Yeah. Unless your fetish is, like ours, and just, like a nice, my fetish is borrowing my loved one's clothing, and it smells of them, and then you're like,
I'm wearing my boyfriend's sweater right now. It's comfy. He gave it to me.
Oh, that's real kinky. That's okay, leather, latex, boyfriend sweater.
Which one are you going to choose? Obviously, the kinkiest one is boyfriend sweater.
Yeah. Just a ball gag and then like a hoodie.
Yep.
That's going to be my look for P Got Me Up.
Everyone will know who you are right away. They're just like, oh yeah, that's Alex.
Oh, that's Alex in the bunny ears, the ball gag, and then a oversized sweater. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
It's like, this is the direction Ariana Grande should have gone in after Dangerous Woman, but she went the other way instead. Yeah.
I'm the alternate universe Ariana Grande.
The good timeline.
I transferred from the good timeline to the bad timeline.
We're gonna get a time paradox.
Yeah. Anyway, so we go for Indian food with Bill, and just the whole time Carrie's trying not to drink water.
I loved this so much because it's known, this restaurant is known for being the spiciest Indian place in town, and he's just like, have a drink of water, you look like you're struggling there, and she's like, no, I'm good.
I bet she's having a korma. Carrie doesn't eat spicy food.
Yeah, no, of course not.
And then he's like, oh, I can't. Oh, I really was hoping we could, I could stay with you tonight, but got an early start tomorrow. And then she just downs the water.
It's so funny.
So stupid. I love it. Then we have our used date party. And Carrie brought Stanford, even though her boyfriend just fucking asked her to piss on him, and she's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if she brought Bill, he'd probably figure out pretty fast what the deal with the party is, because he does seem like a smart guy.
He is the Nickelodeon show smart guy. It was about him. For some reason, I feel like I need to bring that up. That was a good show.
The thing is, they got rid of him because Nickelodeon wants you to slime people, and he wanted to piss on people. So they were like, that's not allowed. He's like, what if the slime was yellow?
No. Just a fucking oh my god. Yeah, that's what happens at the pit. You know how there's the Nickelodeon awards? Okay, so at the piss awards, you get dunked in piss. It's just a slip and slide.
Don't like that.
No, this might be our most cursed episode yet.
It might be. Which movie? Oh, never mind. It's the MTV Movie Awards where they give you a surfboard, right? I was like...
It's not the Teen Choice Awards.
Oh, is it the Teen Choice Awards? Okay, never mind.
MTV Movie Awards is popcorn.
Okay, right. Okay, because never mind. Because I was like, oh, is that the award show where you get a surfboard? Because you could just surf the piss down the... But it's totally different awards, so it's fine.
This is... Yeah, okay, let's speed through this then. So yeah, Carrie brought Stanford. Samantha is there with her short boy, her short king. She's wearing a fur coat. She looks amazing.
She is. Basically, they do a bit where he comes out from behind her, you originally don't see him there, but he was standing behind her the whole time.
Yeah. So stupid. This is the most physical comedy episode for a long time. There's a no smoking sign that Charlotte put up, And then Carrie goes and smokes in the fucking kitchen, and Stanford does it too.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least Carrie smokes at the window, but she's still smoking inside where it says, like, no smoking. Stanford just smokes wherever the fuck.
I'm imagining that Charlotte's has like a lift. Like, she can just go down in the elevator and then just go outside and smoke.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm sure she could. But I mean, God, Carrie would never move. So
no, imagine walking outside. Imagine going downstairs in an elevator to go have a cigarette. That's wild. Yeah, she's like, so then Charlotte's
like, yeah, talking to some guy.
He is annoying.
Yeah, he's just like, whatever. I don't even remember what he looks like or what he was talking about. All I know is that she was talking to him.
Yeah, I think he was talking about, like, traveling, which is just the most boring thing fucking people think I care about.
I don't give a shit.
No, I don't know why people always like, oh yeah, I was in Sri Lanka, and I'm like, okay.
That's great. Good for you.
Good for you. You're on a plane. Like, who cares? You stroked like a sedated tiger. That's fucking dope, dude. I really couldn't give less of a shit. And then you did shrooms. Amazing. Very interesting story. So, yeah, and then his ex comes up. Did you recognize her too? We got another slightly less famous, but she's Bella's mom from Twilight.
Is she? I did not recognize her, but I also have only seen one Twilight movie, so
okay, well, that's not very valid of you, but okay.
I'm sorry. I know sometimes can't be forgiven, but
yeah, his ex comes along, and as soon as Charlotte turns her back, they are making out and on the pile of coats in her bedroom, which is real fucked up.
Yeah, I guess like Carrie's voiceover is just like, yeah, all it really took was for her to see him with another woman and suddenly he looked shiny and new again. Great.
It's not cool. Charlotte gets pied, and then Jeff, our short king, yes.
I think the thing is, I don't like calling him that because he's so obnoxious.
True. Yeah.
Like I don't want to call him a manlet, but I also don't want to call him a short king. Like he's like he's just a short man. Yeah. Short proletariat man. No, that makes me feel like he's like valid and he's not. So
just call it Jeff.
But he finds out. Yeah, Jeff. He finds out that the party is like a trash man party. And because he's like getting food and someone's like, hey, you having any luck meeting anyone? And he's just like, oh no, I mean, I came with someone, so it's fine. And she's just like, yeah, like you came with an ex, right? And he goes up to Samantha and is just like, so you brought me here to like meet someone else, like to dump me? And Samantha says something so rude. She says, I thought you could meet someone your own size. Like Samantha is his size, basically.
He's like, oh yeah, well, get me in bed and you'll be gagging for it. And she's like, fine. And then they have sex. And according to a later scene, she had 5 orgasms.
He did work.
5? That
seems impressive.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I really don't believe. I mean, maybe because he's shorter, he puts in more effort. I guess that's what they're trying to say.
I feel like, I don't know, the way that Samantha talks about how much she likes sex, I gotta wonder if she's like one of those really rare women who like actually gets pleasure from things that most other women, I guess like cis women.
She comes from penetrative sex?
Yeah, where it's like most cis women don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 80% don't. It's really high.
Yeah, and I feel like she's gotta be like that, that small percent of women who can just
fucking nut anywhere. Just nut.
Yeah, I don't know, because otherwise it's just like, I don't understand why you want to get laid so much all the time. Unless you're, like, getting off from penetrative sex, like, really easily.
Good for her.
Yeah, I mean, that is good for her.
So, yeah, maybe he was just playing on easy mode.
Yeah.
For all my gamers out there, you guys know.
I know what you mean. I'm a gamer. I'm a girl gamer. Sorry, I don't want to.
Game of girls. Yeah, and then after they have sex, oh my god, so we go from her to Miranda and we get a titty tally and fucking Steve is like fucking fist deep on her tit.
Yeah, he sure is going to ham on her titties and I don't like it.
They're having sex and do you remember what they're talking about? I think he says like, oh, I don't need an answer soon.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. What is he? Yeah. He says like, I don't want an answer soon, but I just want you to know that like how I feel and you're like the best woman. You're the best woman I ever met, Miranda. And I love you. And that's apparently exactly what Miranda needed to hear. Like that was the ticket. That is what made her go, yep, never mind. I'm not settling for Steve. Like, I just want to be with Steve.
Yeah. So finito bonito, that's the end of the story. Then we go on our date with, because Samantha was trying to give Jeff another shot after she had such great sex. And he's like, oh, they're at dinner. And he says, okay, I need to go to the little boys' room. And she sees in his jacket that his suit is from the boys department at Bloomingdale's, and she fucking runs out of this restaurant.
She does. She like bolts. It's
so he has a very quick pee.
I figured he hadn't even made it to the bathroom yet because she went so fast.
No, he must have just heard her fucking clopping away.
Clopping? Like a horse?
And she's like, you shop at the boys section. And he says, where do you shop? The big and tall horse store?
And Samantha somehow is not just ridiculously offended by this. Like, they kind of just go off back at each other and she just thinks it's funny. Like, they make each other laugh by shit-talking each other.
By fucking being mean to each other. That's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, you need someone who makes you laugh, but you make each other laugh by attacking one another?
Yeah, like, that doesn't seem like a very healthy thing, but okay.
They date apparently for 2 weeks, which is really long for Samantha.
Yeah, well, I'm happy we don't see the rest of it, but
yeah,
he's just too obnoxious.
He really is. He's the worst.
That's the end of Samantha for the week.
Yes. And then we get, right at the end of the episode, we have Carrie and Bill. And this is wild. They have sex, and then he's like, okay, let's go shower.
Yeah, I think the second they're finished, he's like, that was great. And he gets the shower on like immediately. And he's like, come on, get in before it gets cold. And
you can't just jump into the shower at someone else's place as well. That's a lot. So she goes to sit on the toilet and she puts the seat down.
A fucking piss boy leaves his seat up like a fucking Neanderthal.
Yeah, she puts the cover down so he doesn't get warmed up or anything. And she's like, so I was thinking, I'm not really cool with the piss. And these are the alternatives she suggests. He closes his eyes and she dribbles warm tea on him. They have the sound of running water when they have sex. Or if they're really like together for a while, then maybe she will leave the door open when she pees.
Except for she's not really comfortable with that last one either.
And this is so weird. It's so strange. And he pops his head out of the shower and he says, oh yeah, well, I've been meaning to talk to you because you know that article you wrote that you mentioned the politician, which we didn't mention it, but they speak about this at the Indian restaurant. And he said he loved it then. But now he's saying, oh, yeah, the people in my campaign are talking about how, they don't want me dating a sex columnist. Which, you knew she was a sex columnist when you met?
Yeah, doesn't really look good. Yeah, the entire time. And he said he was fine with it before. He was like, oh, like, it's fine, I don't know. And suddenly he's just like, yeah, nah, it's a little bit weird. It's too steamy. And she's like, okay, I write about sex, but you like people to pee on you. And he's just like, yeah, but I mean, no one knows about that.
And so they break up. And then, okay, Carrie writes her column. And it's called To Pee or Not to Pee. And she doesn't name him, because that would be gratuitous.
It's very political of her. It was much more political to not name him, whatever that means.
But basically,
Again, the word you're looking for is diplomatic.
you know, P column confirmed.
P column confirmed. Yep. She didn't use his name, and we see a shot of him reading the paper with the article, and it's a long article. Like, it's maybe like, I don't know, it's pretty long for like a sex column to me, but
Yeah, it seemed to be like it's a full half of a page.
it looked pretty big. Yeah. And yeah, that's the end of the episode, is just him realizing that, oh shit, now everyone's gonna know that I am into piss.
Yeah, he does the Home Alone scream face.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Shall we get into rankings?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to put Samantha at the bottom because while she looked great, I feel like this was just really stupid and I just didn't see the point. I didn't really understand what she was getting at. She was just particularly mean and like put up with this guy being mean to her. I mean, good for her for having 5 orgasms, but I don't know if it's worth it.
I mean, you can just do that on your own time, so.
And it just sounds like it hurts. Then I'm gonna say Miranda, because I just don't like Steve, but eventually I'm gonna need to throw Steve out of the equation, just so Miranda has something to, like, I just wanted to have more to fucking do than her whole life revolving around fucking Steve.
Yeah, like eventually she's gonna have plots that Steve might be in the picture, but it's not the only thing going on, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she's got a whole life outside of Steve. She's a goddamn lawyer.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say Charlotte because she just didn't do much. And then, do you know what? Carrie's my top because she wasn't into something and just said that. And that's what you should, if you're with someone and they want to do something and you don't, you just say no. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And she gave it a nice long thought. She kind of realized, no, it's not something I want to try. And then, yeah. And she did consider it briefly to see if it was something she wanted to do for him. And my ranking's the exact same as yours. Like, I would also put Carrie first, which feels like shocking to me. But also, I liked this plot because it's like such a memorable episode. Carrie was valid the whole time. She made the right choices. And I do like to see John Slattery, even if they could do possibly one of the things to make him the least attractive to me. But he's still cute, so valid. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like when we are all like synced up.
I know, me too.
So should we get on to questions?
We sure should.
Okay, so if you want to send us in questions, then you can send them into cityguysmakedo.tumblr.com/ask. Which you guys know that by now. I doubt you're jumping into the P-tape fucking head first.
I mean, I always think that people would know, but then we ask for questions on Discord and people are like, where do I send questions to? Where do I go? And it's like, how do you not know by now? Anyway, not to drag anyone. I'm not naming names, but...
You can also send them to cityguysmakedo.gmail.com if you want to. Because Tumblr's probably going to be shutting down this year, so we should maybe plug that a little bit more. Our first question is from a frequent question asker, PR the Disaster on Tumblr, who asks, based on the guy being accused of Drinkos pee-pee, what's the biggest secret you've leaked? Also, if short kings and queens did rise up, what would their kingdom be like? Okay, so should we answer the first question? Biggest secret. I don't think I've leaked too much about other people. At least not like leak. I've sort of told I've sort of like told my mum.
Yeah.
Because I need to, you know, like when you have a secret, you need to tell someone, but you can't tell anyone who knows that person. So I'll just sort of tell another friend who doesn't know them. I kind of regret ever telling anyone anything about myself.
I don't know. I really can't think of anything that I've really leaked that's been like, I don't know. Like, I've definitely told some close friends about things, like, if they didn't know the people involved, but it's not leaking it to people who would care.
Yeah, that's the thing. And, like, I don't think I have anything that's, like, fun, scandalous. Everything I have is, like, disgusting.
I guess I did kind of leak something about someone, like, in the last year that I don't know if I want to name on this podcast.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, Jack. We can't tell you because we don't want to fucking name names. And, like, the stuff I did... I was telling, like, some friends the other day about, like, a guy I knew and all the weird shit he would constantly say. But it's, like, it's, like, gross and it's kind of inappropriate for the podcast. So I don't really want to, like, bring the mood down.
Yeah,
apart from that, I don't like telling people stuff about me because I like to remain a mystery.
Yeah, I don't think I even have any, like, thing about myself that would really be, like, big that even could be leaked. I don't know.
I mean, I've got skeletons.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I do, but...
As far as you're concerned, I just appeared fucking last year from the ether.
Yeah, I'm innocent.
Exactly. Well, I am innocent. I'm just, in guilty parties.
We've never done anything wrong in our lives.
My short queen, my liege, what is your kingdom gonna look like?
Oh, it's gonna be really, really nice. My ideal kingdom... I mean, first of all, I would abolish the kingdom immediately because I think monarchy is for cuck-ass bitches.
Okay, your communist utopia, what's going on?
Yeah. Okay, well, I would definitely try to have there be more penguins.
Okay.
Especially for any of the ones that are, like, endangered. Like, let's do something for those penguins because they're really cute. And then what else would it look like? It would look a lot like the Pokemon universe where you can just walk into a hospital and be like, what's up, for free. And things are pretty cheap in the store, and all the Nazis are gone because all the Nazis were killed.
I think this is more of like a personal one for you, and I am with this. I feel like when our dear friend PR asked a question, he was kind of more going for like like short, like all furniture is like downsized.
I know, but the thing is, I don't give a shit about that. It's not like I'm like Ned Flanders opening the liftorium, like, for short people. Like, I guess there could be miniature ponies everywhere that replace all the regular horses. Like, all horses were guillotined and replaced with miniature ponies.
Glue. There's just a large amount of glue.
Yeah, there's just so much glue.
I think maybe abolishing bar stools, as we said. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, and cupboards aren't as high. I still really like high-ceilinged rooms and buildings, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. Cars would be fixed so that I can reach the pedals easier without being so close to the steering wheel.
Oh.
It's a problem, okay? And chairs would be a little bit shorter so that my feet would touch the ground when I sit in them. Because my legs are always falling asleep because my legs are always like crossed, or this is like, I feel like me sitting fucked up is part like half because I'm gay, half because I'm like short.
You say that. I feel like half the reason I can't ever sit properly is half because I'm gay and half because of my pain, because like I don't really like sitting like straight up, so I will almost always be in some way reclined. I'm the type of person who, for some reason, I'm either sitting cross-legged all the time or I have like my legs over the side of the chair.
Yeah, I'm like that most of the time too.
Yeah. I love when my feet dangle off of something, but you're right. When it's all the time, your feet fall asleep.
Yeah, my feet are fucking always asleep, and it's so infuriating. It's so uncomfortable. I just have to like bear through it. I don't like it.
Okay, I think those are good. So thank you. Next question is from Tumblr user Mike Dawson, or another frequent question asker, who says, does John Slattery's character have a silver fox fursona? And if so, does he commission loads of water sports art, of said persona. Also, would you vote for him?
Yes, no, yes. Oh, wait. Yes, no, no. Yes, no, no.
Okay. Would you care to elaborate? Let's not elaborate on the furry piss because we've talked enough about that.
I know. He does have a silver fox fursona because John Slattery... Is it even a fursona if that's what you are? Like if you literally are... Like, a duck would never say, this is my fursona, and it's a duck.
Yeah, I was watching again. My mother sort of was in and out of the room when I was watching this episode earlier, and she said, "Oh, he is the silver fox." And then she went for an older woman, and I just kind of said, "Yeah, older woman."
The water sports, I want to say no, and I don't want to elaborate. I don't know.
Well, if he has a fursona in universe, he might. Again, I feel like because he's a politician, he's not going to commission art. He's just going to hire a sex worker.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah, true. Although I'll tell you, he's going to ruin that fursuit. And also his hair. Like,
maybe he has like one of those, you know, those like puppy fetishists where they have like leather or like latex.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just like the fur is yellow, so you can't tell.
Don't eat yellow fur. Anyway, if your piss is yellow, then fuck you. I pee clear because of all my sparkling water.
I mean, I feel like it's not supposed to be 100% clear.
No. But like, I don't know. Everyone always talks about being yellow, and I'm like, how yellow? Well, I don't know. Whenever I hear yellow, I picture like highlighter, and no one's pee should ever be that color.
Yeah, sometimes I just worry, like, when people say that they, like, don't drink water very often, I worry that their piss is just, like, brown. Like, it scares me. Like, I don't know. It's like...
when when you've had, like, maybe a big old long time on the drink, and then you wake up and down a bunch of coffee, and then you pee, and you're like, I'm dying.
Yes. Imagine that your piss is like that all the time. It's bad. It's like, it makes me think about we'll get to it in a future episode, the funky tasting spunk, about how if all you eat is like nasty ass food and like red meat and you've never had a fruit or a vegetable in your life, how your cum probably tastes like dirt and bitter, disgusting. Like cum isn't exactly like a delicacy, but it definitely can taste worse depending on the foods you eat, and it just makes me think of that.
Speak for yourself. Cum is a delicacy to me. I would just put it in like a little oyster shell, and then I would be like, slurp.
Just like caviar. It's like, yeah, well, cum is the vegan's caviar.
That is a terrible thing you said, and I love you.
Thank you.
So last question, would we vote for him?
No. We don't even know what he's doing.
No? I mean, I'm gonna assume I kind of read from the show that he's like a Kennedy-style Democrat.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on who he's running against is the thing. Like, I don't know. It sounds like his position is like, it has something to do with their neighborhood. I don't know. And it really depends on who else is running, because, like, he might be the best candidate if he's, I don't know, if he's, like, the Democrat running against some other person, then I'd probably vote for him, but, like...
He's a fucking Democrat, which is, you know, the fucking third cousin of a Republican, so it doesn't really matter. But he seems like he would just be, like, the rich people Democrat, you know, the Anthony Cuomo? Whatever. The guy who stole Cynthia Nixon's victory.
God, true. Come on.
I would vote for her. If I was in New York, I would have voted for her.
Cynthia deserved that.
I want to get her on the show. That would be the ideal. Her and Kim Cattrall. And I mean, maybe SJP. Obviously, Kristen Davis, who I think is underrated. But I think Cynthia Nixon's most on brand.
Yeah, no, she for sure is. Like, get her for a double feature, HKIP and City Girls. We could get her on the episode where we talk about fuckable presidents.
True.
We could get her on an episode where we talk about how fuckable the current election candidates are. for this election.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck Bernie. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna Anna Nicole Smith Bernie.
I'm not gonna fucking fuck Bernie.
I just want to imagine him, like, you know, the famous picture of Anna Nicole Smith on her wedding day with, like, hair, like, gorgeous, and then this fucking corpse in a wheelchair next to her. That's me and Bernie.
Yeah. Oh my god. How old is Bernie? Like 75, 80? Like at that age, I mean, you are pushing it, but I mean, you're not on your deathbed.
No, maybe. So yeah, when Bernie is on his deathbed, I'll marry him and then redistribute the wealth because that's what he'd want. Like, it wouldn't even be like a scam. Like, that is just what he would want. I would marry Jeremy Corbyn, though. I feel like he's a bit of a silver fox.
I would probably not marry any of the Canadian candidates because it's just like, Justin Trudeau, you're a liberal ass bitch, and I would never vote for you.
Yeah, but he's sexy. Have you considered that he's fucking sexy?
Rejected and blocked. Jagmeet Singh, it's like you're like a good looking enough guy, I guess, but like, I don't know, you're running the NDP party a little bit more centrist than I'd like you to, but you're still better than Justin. So
you guys know where to find us. I'm gonna sign off by saying I want Beto O'Rourke to eat my pussy until my legs cramp.
I'm proud of you.
The worst tweet ever. Let's finish off. Let's sign off. Stephanie, you go first, as you always do.
All right. You can find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish. You can find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island.
You can find me on Tumblr at Dork Phoenix. That's it.
That's pretty much it. Go have a good long piss in your toilet. And that's how I'm signing off this week.
Yeah, my legs are gonna get cramped. Beto's waiting for me in the Gimp dungeon. Good night, everyone.
Yep. Bye. If you're horny, we'll kill you.